The books that we found in the children's section of the library is highly sexually explicit. So we're not suggesting that they get banned or censored at all. We support free speech, but these books should be moved from the child section into the adult section because they really are sexualizing children. Many of them have fetishes in them. This is absolutely not a censorship campaign in any way. We're not suggesting that these books be banned or burned or any other thing that's being spun around. This is a campaign that we launched back in January when some concerned mothers and fathers were in libraries, particularly in the children's section, which is age 12 to 17. But the age 12 to 17 has actually been branded by Libraries of Ireland as the young adult. Now, we don't feel age 12 as an adult, but the books that we found in the children's section of the library is highly sexually explicit. So we're not suggesting that they get banned or censored at all. We support free speech, but these books should be moved from the child section into the adult section because they really are sexualizing children. Many of them have fetishes in them, things that are just totally inappropriate for children, and they also break the Children's First Act of 2015, which Irish people voted for. Showing sexually explicit material to children is under the category of sexual abuse in the Children's First Act of 2015, which can be found on TUSLA's website. There's a good few. The one that has been doing the rounds because it was also recently actually taken off the school book reading list is This Book is Gay. This Book is Gay is highly sexualized, but it also has a dangerous aspect in the book where it teaches children how to use Grindr, which is a dating app for adults, and it teaches them how to upload a photo. It marks their location so they can meet other homosexual adults in their area. Now, no mother or father should want their age 12 to be using a dating app, which if you go to Grindr is for age 18 and above. That's in the children's section of the library. Another book is, it's by Alan Fisher, I think it's Transmission or something like that. That book actually teaches children how to order puberty blockers hormones online, and it has pictures of how to inject their young bodies with hormones. And I would hope that any mother and father would not want age 12 to learn how to order hormones online and inject their bodies with those. So there's health and safety issues, there's indoctrination, they're highly sexualized, and then the dating app one would be very, very risky for a child to be meeting an adult on a dating app. So there's many aspects of these books we have serious concerns with.
So to be clear, you're not suggesting that these books should be removed from society completely and banned. You're suggesting that they are in an inappropriate place, that they're a place that's for young people as young as 12. And are these within the children's section of the library? In my library there's a side for adults, there's a side for children, and in the children I think there's a young adult section. So you could literally have a 6-year-old picking up these books. Is that your concern, that these are in the wrong place?
Absolutely. These are we define it as children's because 12 to 17 is a child, and on the Child First Act it does state that under 18 is a child. So age 12 to 17 is still a child, but the libraries are calling them young adult. But these age 12 children can use their age 12 library card to go into the library and take out these really damaging books for young minds, but also young kids even younger than 12 could go and access these books. Now, when I was a kid in the 70s and 80s, if we went to a shop on the corner and there were, those pornographic magazines, they would be on a shelf that a child couldn't reach, wrapped in cling film. So even if you reached them, you couldn't get them open. These books with this material are right within children's reach, and a child on their own could go in at age 12 and check this book out of their library. Parents have the power, and parents need to really go in and look at the books for themselves. Some of the media has spun it that we are against the LGBT community, which isn't true. It's simply the content of the book. So the first thing we encourage all parents to do is go in and look at the content for themselves, read the book, and ask, is this appropriate for age 12? If they don't feel it's appropriate, they can go to the front desk at the library, hand over the book, and serve the library peacefully and politely with a public notice letter, which we have on our website that we're using to host the letters, irisheducationalliance.com. And there's a library campaign we launched in January to go in and serve the libraries with a notice letter, because the libraries are failing to safeguard our children. And this has been kicked to touch by Libraries Ireland, by the county councils, by the Children's Ombudsman. We've even gone to Garda Síochána, and we have 5 pulse numbers because this is breaking the Child First Act, but those cases have been closed and they've told us to take it as a civil matter, but it's being kicked to touch by everyone we've tried to report it to, so it's really up to parents to take that direct action. I would encourage every mother and father to talk to the on-the-ground counsellors, their TDs, the minister. We've tried raising it to the powers that be in Dáil Erin, but it's also been ignored. But absolutely talk to as many people as they can. And I always encourage, as founder of the Natural Women's Council, we encourage everyone to understand the power that one conversation can have. So even talking to a friend, a neighbour, a colleague, a parishioner at church, talk to people about what we're seeing in the libraries, and that one person will talk to more and more and more, and that's where we'll get the really enormous public pushback. And people shouldn't be afraid about safeguarding children, despite what labels we often get from media for doing so, from the likes of county councils who said we were spreading hate against the community, we're phobic and we want the books banned. None of that is true. We're simply concerned for the content in front of young children's eyes.